of them being Pro Bowl caliber players, they know whether or not they show up to off-season workouts, their spot on the team is secure. But when you start talking about special teams guys, people who are going to struggle to make the 53-man roster, you think they're going to agree to a boycott if it means putting them in an even worse position to make these teams? No way. No way. The vast majority of NFL players are going to show up to the optional workouts because they're not as secure financially or as secure from a football standpoint as the more established players are. You cannot expect the players to organize. And yeah, 34 years ago, we did have a strike, but since that point, you've had some lockouts, which have been successful because the billionaires are usually able to win that attrition against the millionaires. Now, we've got the phases going here. The NFL plans to proceed with an off-season program regardless of whether the NFLPA tells its members to show up. Per a source with knowledge of the situation, the league has communicated to all teams the contours of the 2021 off-season program. The NFL believes that the various phases and activities comply with the league's rights under the collective bargaining agreement, along with the COVID-19 protocols developed jointly with the NFLPA last year. Under the NFL's plan, the first two phases of the off-season program will happen virtually. Players who participate will receive a per diem of $275 and credit toward the minimum participation necessary to receive workout bonuses. Phase 1 will last 4 weeks. Phase 2 covers May 17th to May 21st. Phase 3, the only phase that will consist of on-field work, begins on May 24th and concludes on June 18th. For Phase 3, all in-season COVID-19 protocols will apply, including the daily testing via on-site MESA PCR technology. So I guess that the official complaint from the NFLPA is that that they think that the off-season stuff is violating COVID protocol and safety. I can understand why you would say that last year, but last season the NFL I think showed a reasonable ability for the protocols to protect players from COVID-19. Plus, if you're talking about on-the-field work starting May 24th, why are these guys not all getting vaccinated? Wouldn't you think, wouldn't you think that everybody in the country now, age 16 and up, maybe not in the entire country, but I know in Florida, we're at 16 and up are all eligible. I think it's like that in most states now. Anybody 16 and up can get it done. You would think that, hey, I had to bust my ass to get an appointment at Walgreens, but you would think these NFL players have an agent or a manager that can be hitting refresh every 5 minutes to get these guys an appointment. I don't know. To me, it seems like by May 24th, there's really no excuse why these guys couldn't be inoculated by that point, and why we can't have off-season activities. I don't know. It sounds a little flimsy to me to put that on the COVID protocol. I don't know if that's really going to hold up. So the extent, hold on, I'm trying to see. Obviously, the boycott flows from concerns about the pandemic, Mike Florio writes. Ostensibly, the boycott flows from concerns about the pandemic. Unless players plan to work out nowhere between now and training camp, however, they'll be working out somewhere. NFL teams showed last year during the season that, for the most part, they can provide a workplace with minimal COVID-19 outbreaks. Likewise, injuries that happen at the time facilities are covered. Players who get hurt at Planet Fitness or on a high school practice field can be placed on the non-football injury list and not paid. That's a good point, because if they're saying that it's not safe to work out at facilities because of COVID, are you working out somewhere? Unless you're at your home gym, in a plastic bubble, then if you're working out somewhere else, presumably with other people, aren't you at just as much of a risk of COVID as you would be at the team facility where they have strict protocols in place? So I think that's a pretty good point by Florio. I think, I don't know, this sounds a little flimsy to me from the players' union. Ray says, howdy, Donno. Can't wait for the onside draft party. I'll be there for sure, and all my friends in the chat will see you there. Yeah, the onside draft party is going to be awesome, and I hope you guys are ready to come out for that. Miami Dolphins fans can join us for our OnsideRadio.com NFL draft party at Sports Grill in Miami at 11481 Southwest 40th Street. That's Bird Road. Join Big O and me for this 2-night event starting on Thursday, April 29th at 7:30 p.m. and Friday, that'll be day 2 at 6:30 p.m. with drink and food specials, giveaways, and the best damn draft party in South Florida. I think it's like the only draft party, at least, that any radio station is putting on. Join us for a 2-night event as OnSideRadio.com and Sports Grill in Bird Road bring you the best NFL draft party on the planet. That's going to be really, really good, man. Hey, Alex, do you have a favorite hockey movie? Is it Miracle that I haven't seen?
That's my second favorite. Slapshot's my favorite.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one for sure. The Hanson brothers.
Yes, we need them on the Florida Panthers.
Oh, my gosh.
Can you imagine? Oh, man. 844-416-8123 is the number. That's 844-416-8123 if you want to text us here at Onside Radio. Texter writes in, Disney World is the happiest place on earth until the long lines form in the pouring rain. Yeah, the lines kind of suck at Disney. It's just like, dude, I'm old enough to remember when I was a kid going to Disney. I started going, I'm sure, like in the 80s. I was born in 84, but I have more memories of the 90s. And, like, I feel like you would get really short-ass lines back then. Nowadays, like, the secret's out, man. Everybody goes to Disney World. Like, you go there now, and it's like an hour-long line for everything. Like, they got lines for the People Mover. You know, it used to be my favorite thing at Disney because I hated waiting in lines. You go on the People Mover, you walk right into that thing, and it's just like, if it's really hot outside, the People Mover is great because it's like under shade and it takes you inside a couple of buildings and you cool down. Like now, you go to Magic Kingdom and there's even a half-hour-long line for the People Mover. Like, Space Mountain is like 2 hours. Splash Mountain, unless you go to Splash Mountain in January and it's 50 degrees outside because people don't want to get wet when it's cold outside. That's the hack. If you go to Disney in winter and you don't mind getting a little wet on Splash Mountain, then you can get in there with a short line. But like if you're there in like July or August, like forget about it. It's like 3 hours to go on Splash Mountain. And Thunder Mountain, the same thing. It's tough, man. Like one of the things, Alex, that I remember way back in the day, Epcot used to have like no thrill rides. Like now they've got like Test Track and Mission Space. Although Mission Space to me most overrated ride on the planet. It's super crappy, Mission Space.
Yeah, Epcot. When I was little, Epcot was the park, and out of all the Disney parks, I was looked bad at. Even like it was better than like it was under MGM, now Hollywood Studios.
Right.
Like Epcot was like as the boring park, because little did I know that when the older you got, when you're above 21, Epcot can be pretty fun.
Yeah, no, totally. Drinking around the world is great. Very expensive though.
Yeah, extremely. But there was no rides at the time. I remember when Test Track finally opened and then Mission Space. But I remember going to Epcot when there was none of that. It was boring.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of liked it though. Like they had like some good ride. Like Horizons was a great ride back in the day.
They had the Ellen DeGeneres.
I liked
Bill
that
Nye
ride.
the Science Guy.
Yeah,
I remember that one. Yeah.
That's what made me love Jeopardy. Because you remember they were playing Jeopardy on that attraction.
In the beginning, yeah.
Like Alex Trebek was in there. I liked Boring Epcot. And like Boring Epcot, the lines weren't that long. Now, like you want to go on Soarin' or you want to go on Test Track, or they have like the Frozen ride now in Norway.
And they're building a new Guardians of the Galaxy ride.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So, I guess they're just trying to keep up with the times, just like every park in Disney is, with like their new products and merchandise.
For as much like I love science fiction and I'd love to part of me would love to go into space someday, but after riding Mission Space, dude, that ride is like 3 minutes long and it gives me nausea.
It's horrific what it
so
does to you.
I'm thinking like if that is supposedly like a toned down version of what it's like to go to space, if you're telling me if I get into like an actual spaceship and they launch me up there with the G-force, if I'm going to feel for like weeks the way that I feel on Mission Space for 3 minutes, no thanks.
Yeah.
I'm not going to space. If I'm feel out. Like that, I'm out.
Count me out. No, thank you.
If I'm going to be nauseous the entire time, I'm good. All right, we'll wrap up this episode of Man of the Match when we come back. We're with you till 6 o'clock tonight and every weeknight here on Onside Radio. Hold on, I got to get a liner to read here. Hold on. Bear with me here. Hey, over the last 30 years, South Florida fans have always been able to count on one radio show that gives you the brutal honesty you need. Orlando Alzagari and the Onside Zone, daily noon to 3 p.m. exclusively at OnsideRadio.com.
The man of the match with South Florida's own Alex Donno. Weekdays 1 to 5 p.m. on the home for Inter Miami football. OnSideRadio.com.
Look out, world, we're getting strong. The future's here and we belong. She can STEM, she can do more. Like build a rocket and watch it soar. Or clean the oceans and make the world a better place. Oh, she can STEM, so can you. Find a cure, invent something new. There's no challenge in the world that she can't face. She can STEM.
Learn more at She Can STEM. A message brought to you by the Ad Council.
A Shiro's work is never done. You care for the house, the kids, and our future. We're so grateful for all you do. Now, it's time to care for yourself and save a little more for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to boost your retirement savings now. Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Parents, we know we can't protect our kids from everything. Eventually, they're going to bump their heads or scrape their knees. But we can protect them from 6 types of cancer. HPV, or human papillomavirus, is a common, preventable virus that can cause cancer later in life. The HPV vaccine prevents human papillomavirus and all the cancers it can cause. The American Cancer Society recommends getting your sons and daughters the HPV vaccine starting at age 9 to protect them later in life.
Join the Inter Miami family in 2021 by becoming a 2021 season ticket member. Enjoy enhanced access benefits and pricing not available to general fans. Visit intermiamicf.com/tickets for more information.
You're listening to OnSideRadio.com. Catch up anytime by downloading the MyTuner Radio app. OnSideRadio.com, South Florida's true hometown station. You're listening to the station with more live and local sports talk than anyone else in South Florida. OnSideRadio.com, broadcasting from South Florida to the world. Welcome back to the Man of the Match with Alex Donno. You can reach out anytime on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
The next couple weeks are going to be a lot of fun for us here on Onside Radio. It's going to be hot and heavy with Inter Miami games starting this weekend. If you missed Alex Wendley, who joined us in the 4 o'clock hour, I thought she did a really awesome job getting us ready for the MLS season. So if you missed that, you can check out the interview on our podcast. I feel like lately I don't plug our podcast enough. The numbers are still going up, so I appreciate you guys who are listening, downloading. But I understand that it's really tough to listen to Onside Radio from sun up to sundown. Like those who are so devoted that you're able to listen every day from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then all weekend long, God bless you, and I'm so thankful for that. Some people have like schedules and work schedules that like allow you to be able to listen and watch all day, which is really cool. Others are no doubt going to miss some hours, some segments, some interviews, and you can listen to us live, but you don't have to listen to us live. You can also listen to replays. So if you go to any podcast platform, go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Those are the big two in my eyes, Apple Podcasts and Spotify, but Google Podcasts as well, podbean.com. You can get all of our archives there. And make sure you subscribe to our shows, from Toasted Sports, through me up until the evenings. You can subscribe. Download all of our episodes, which is great. You can actually also watch archives back on YouTube because every show that goes up on YouTube gets saved as an archive video as well. So there are plenty of ways to watch back and listen back. But, man, these next couple weeks are going to be a lot of fun with MLS season starting up this weekend and then the NFL draft coming up 2 weeks from tomorrow. So it's going to be really, really great, man. We're going to have a lot of draft content for you. So we're going to have a whole lot of fun with that, my friends. Jason LaConfora wrote a piece on CBS Sports, an insider's look at how the top 10 picks could unfold with the Patriots moving up. That's interesting. He writes, with the draft roughly 2 weeks away and teams locked down in meetings to finalize evaluations and set their boards, I figured I'd take my first shot at figuring out the top 10. Obviously, he writes, much could change between now and when these picks are made, and as always, my one and only mock draft won't come out until draft day. Wow. Hoity-toity, only does one mock draft. But I've been in contact with a number of execs picking in the top 10 and many agents for top 10 prospects, and things seem to be coming into focus, somewhat at least. And by the way, Jason Lockenfor is really good. I take his opinion seriously. So here's what I'm thinking, he writes. Number 1 overall to Jacksonville, he writes, Trevor Lawrence, duh. Number 2, New York Jets, Zach Wilson, double duh. Number 3, San Francisco, Mac Jones, wow. So it's not a smokescreen, according to Lockenfor. Number 4, New England trades up and gets Trey Lance. You know, I'd be good with that because that, you know, I know it's New England and I don't want them to find a great quarterback, but I want a quarterback to be picked there. He says number 5, Cincinnati. Oh, Kyle Pitts. He's got Cincinnati taking Kyle. Lockenfor, you stabbed me in the back. And then at number 6, he's got Miami taking Jamar Chase. You know, either way you win. I think you win bigger with Pitts, but Jamar Chase, you could do worse. Number 7, Detroit. He's got Justin Fields going there. Carolina, Penei Sewell. Micah Parsons going to Denver at number 9, and then Rashawn Slater going to Dallas at number 10. So that's the way Jason Lockenfor sees the top 10. Want to send out a huge thank you to everyone who's listened with us today, chatted with us. You guys and girls are all awesome. Huge thanks to Alex Aguirre, and a big thanks to Tito Bonacci as well. And, we'll talk to everybody tomorrow, same time, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. right here on the only locally owned sports station in South Florida, OnSideRadio.com.
You're listening to the flagship station of Inter Miami CF, OnSideRadio.com. Follow us on social media at OnSide Radio.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com. For over 20 years, Mr. Glass has been committed to the safety and satisfaction of our clients. Our products are the culmination of innovative engineering, aesthetic appeal, and the highest levels of quality. Through our legacy, Mr. Glass strives to impart the true meaning of quality, service, and sustainability to new generations. Reputation, experience, and trust is why clients choose Mr. Glass. Live the future now. Locate a dealer near you today.
Wednesday morning. They call it the hump day. This is 4th and 20. One of the last 4th and 20s we'll be having. I am toast. Obviously, there is no Marsh. My man Sean Stanley sitting shotgun as always.
The final countdown.
I know, right? Big day for me today. Second shot day for me. I will be
D-Day.
I will be getting out of here. I will go home. I will pick up the wife, and we will head on. It's funny.
Oh, that's right. It's a double poking, right?
Yeah, so it's funny.